Hello and welcome to another edition of Client for Life. Well, it was an interesting weekend with 70% clearance rate. Interestingly enough, it was 77% this time last year, but we actually took 1,035 properties to market last year for the same weekend with a 77% clearance rate, and this weekend we took 385 properties to market with a 70% clearance rate. 48 properties sold before market too, which is a really outstanding result when you add those together. And I wanted just to talk about the general market. Interestingly enough, I went to a talk last week and they were saying it's time to buy BHP again, so just goes to show you can never tell where things are going. But commodities for the last 2 to 3 weeks have been the strongest we've probably seen in the last 6 to 9 months. The analysts are coming out saying, you know, buy commodities, look at BHP as a serious contender, and self-managed super funds continue to be one of the strongest growing financial sector in Australia. So I know we see that here, and the performance of those that put obviously go into property and manage their own portfolios. I see a really big change with people managing their own superannuation. In terms of the rest of the market, what I am finding is a lovely levelling off period in the prices. So that absolute bull market that we saw emerging last year has, what I would do, had a lovely curve to it. So it's just a nice levelling off, and what a relief for me, because what I'm seeing now is the seasoned long-term developers are saying, okay, we want to actually sell this apartment block out, or we want to sell these groups of townhouses. Let's price them well, let's make a good enough margin to keep things rolling on. So I have to say, the last couple of price lists that have landed on my desk, I'm giving them a 10 out of 10 because it gives me a level of comfort. It builds in a nice little bit of a risk strategy. So from that point of view, it's been really fantastic. Nice to see negative gearing has lost its gearing in terms of everyone's, it seems to have lost the momentum. And look, without talking political parties or becoming embroiled in that, I think I came out a month or two ago quite vocally and said I don't trust either party to get this right. I think it doesn't matter how you slice a pie up. If you take a chunk out of the pie, you haven't got a complete pie. And I don't think anybody can tell how it's going to go. There are so many contributing factors, so many dynamics, and it doesn't take much to tip a market into, pardon the pun, a negative cycle. And look, I was living in Sydney. I was one of those people that were displaced. I was renting a house in Caringbah at the time, working in Mascot, and my owners came back from overseas. I could not find a place to rent, and how's this? My owners were living in a hotel down the road, and I was desperately seeking new accommodation. So vacancy rates rose to 10.3. Now, if you think 2.8 is a normal vacancy in, vacancy out, you try finding a property when you've got 10.3% vacancy and you know you're alive and well. So I think negative gearing is on the back burner. Capital gains tax seems to be on the back burner as well. So there's quite a few things at the moment that are really sort of stabilising in the market, and I think we need that for a little time. A nice, calm investment window where we can all gather ourselves together and keep our momentum and keep our focus. I'm going to close on a bit of an unfortunate note. I just got a phone call this morning. One of my top clients has just been diagnosed with a terminal illness, and that's been quite a shock here at Solid because they're involved in every business group, and yeah, so my heart goes out to that family, and it just makes us, ironically, at 9 o'clock this morning I had a phone call with a client who said to me, Lynn, I'm about to sign this contract, what do I need to do to protect myself? And the first thing I said is have adequate insurance. So I'm really glad my clients have adequate insurance, but nothing's going to dull the pain that's ahead of us. So think about protecting your assets. Think about what happens if something happens to me. How do I protect my family? I'll leave you with that note. Open the bottom drawer and check your insurance policies, everybody. Take care. Have a great week. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.